Somewhere in the realm of the known and the not-so-known lies a middle ground of things that may or may not be known. There are otherworldly things in this world that cannot be explained by science, unnatural incidents that occur when least expected. The following story is a tale of one such occurrence.
Just 20 miles south of St. Louis lies the rural community of Sydney Springs, Missouri. This little town was settled on the Mississippi River. Barges and trains pass this town daily. The residents here enjoy their quiet, friendly neighborhood, but Zoe Smith says there's nothing quiet and friendly behind these walls. Zoe Smith moved to Sydney Springs 10 years ago because she loved the quiet neighborhood. She lives a rich and fulfilling life with her cockatiel friend Mr. Fluffers. It was the life of her dreams until one day in 2007. That was the year that strange things started happening at the Smith home.
I remember that because that is when my sister and my nephew were having all kinds of problems, and she was kicking him out of the house, and he wanted to come live with me, and I said no.
Zoe Smith recalls the first unsettling incident.
I was watching television and I felt this cold breeze, and then I thought I heard the door open and close. But when I turned around, no one was there, and the door was closed, and it just gave me this really uncomfortable feeling. And Mr. Fluffers was equally uncomfortable.
I remember I was going by the bathroom, and I'd just been in there. And I was walking through, and I looked, and the toilet seat was up. Now, I don't put the toilet seat up. I never put the toilet seat up. I'm not a man. It was just freaked me out. I didn't know what to think of it. And I went in and I put it down. And a couple hours later, I went by and it was up again. And I don't know how to explain it.
As the days passed, the incidents increased.
And there were dishes in my sink, like a knife and a fork and a plate and a glass, and I just started getting this really creepy feeling, like I wasn't alone. Soon after that, I went into the bathroom, and there was this odd, like, foam or weird looking blue foam all over the sink, and I remember reading in a book that that's what ectoplasm looked like. It's like everything started going crazy. I did not feel comfortable in my own home.
I remember one specific incident when I went shopping and I just bought an entire container of orange juice, and the next morning when I went to go get some, it was nearly empty. It terrified me.
A lot of times when I would get up in the morning, I would go into my living room. I also noticed in the kitchen there was this weird cold spot. Just this one spot every time I went near there. It would really be cold. It would give me the shivers.
One evening I was watching television and then I started to get that creepy feeling. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, the channels on the television started to change. Checked the buttons. I even took out the batteries. Completely. And when I looked at the television again, the channels were still changing.
Walking through the kitchen, and I went in to another room, and I was only in that other room for a couple minutes, and I came back through the kitchen, and that's when I saw it.
When I saw it, I realized I had to do something. I couldn't take it anymore.
While looking for ways to fight the unknown forces in her house, Zoe researches the paranormal and finds the National Spookological Society.
I reluctantly got in contact with the National Spookological Society. I contacted a gentleman by the name of Darius O'Shaughnessy, and he was in my area.
When Zoe first called the National Spookological Society, I could tell by how upset she was that she needed help, and I thought, here's an opportunity for me to contribute to science and our knowledge of the paranormal. I made an appointment to go to the house and take my own readings. First I tried the Doppler Newtonian spectrometer. I was looking for spiritual Philagadusha in the house, and I found it.
Darius can confirm there is a presence in Zoe's house.
So what are we listening to?
Do you hear the voice? It's a voice that's saying, "Get out of my house!"
Oh my God! I hear it!
I told Zoe I would help rid her home of the unwanted pest, and I would conduct the ceremony for free. However, she would have to pay for the supplies I needed. I needed candles, herbs, nostril of newt, some mane of giraffe, tail of otter. Altogether, it was going to cost about $50,000. So Zoe signed the contract and her credit was approved, and the payment plan was made, so we got started. So we decided on the night for the cleansing ceremony. Zoe, of course, wanted to be there, but I thought it was best if I were alone. I thought maybe it would be dangerous, and it would be way too much stress on her. After all, she'd been living through a lot of stressful things, and this was just bound to make it worse. So after she went to work, I set about performing my long and involved ceremony to rid the house of the unwanted pest.
When I spoke to Darius after the cleansing ceremony, he told me how difficult and dangerous it had been to eject the presence from my house. He also reassured me that the house was now fully cleansed and free of all spirits.
It's so much better now. I just want to thank everybody from the Spookological Society. It really helped get my life back on track. I feel like I have my life back now.
Zoe and Mr. Fluffer still live in Sydney Springs, and as of this day have had no further incidents.